for me that any kind of escape is a basic escape, a simple one, and it covers 3 criteria. It works for a jiu-jitsu match, it works for a no-gi match, it works for a self-defense or an MMA situation. I don't like having moves that only work for jiu-jitsu. And there are those sport moves that work a little bit better because you have the gi, you can be a little bit more creative with it. But to change a move for no-gi, it's another thing for me to remember. And then to change it again for strikes, another thing I have to adjust, another thing I have to remember. So I really like when I find a move that works across the board. To me, that's a really big fundamental movement. So this mount escape today, we want to make sure that we can use it in any kind of situation, which works really well for me. So first, when my opponent's going to mount and I recognize that I can't stop his entry to mount, if I can, I'm going to recover my guard. I'll do something else to stop him. But at some point I realize he's going to get the mount. So I want to be able to hit the safety position as soon as I can. It's really important, bear hug, lifting the hips, climb my way up, head in tight, elbows in, and just keeping the hips off the floor. So when Mark comes to side mount, I realize I can't stop it, I bear hug initially. Okay? My bear hug will help keep his weight forward. If Mark sits up, this is going to be a lot more dangerous for me. He can start punching me, headbutting me, looking for submissions. So I bear hug and I lift my hips up. When I lift my hips up, it keeps the weight of his arms on the floor, or it shifts his hips up higher. I'm going to climb, climb, climb till my hands, both sides are on his traps, and I squeeze my elbows in just to make a connection here. My hips are still up. My head is in tight, and I'm keeping the weight onto his arms. This is my safety mount position. Okay, so now that I've established that safety position, I need to be able to make sure that I can escape from there. So when I'm escaping, it's really important that my hips never hit the floor. I don't want to bridge the whole time when Mark's on top of me. I want to keep my hips just halfway up, enough that his weight is now on his hands or his elbows. When I feel his weight shift to one side, it's going to pin his elbow to the floor or his hand to the floor, so he can't move it as easily. That's the side I'm going to drive over. So my hips are here to start with, but I'm going to walk with this and drive, drive, drive until I feel something's digging to the ground on either side. Then I'll drive him over that side. So when Mark Wilson mount, bear hug, hips up, climb, 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 and now I need to feel that weight on the floor, so I'm going to drive until I feel him turn over.